You ever notice how two people can live in the same city, work similar jobs, and still live completely different money lives? One person is always calm. Bills get paid. The fridge is full. They are not panicking every time their phone buzzes. They are not checking their bank balance like it owes them an apology. The other person makes more money, but somehow always feels broke. Salary comes in, and before the week is even over, it is already disappearing. Rent, EMI, food delivery, shopping, subscriptions, a random night out, a small purchase, then another one, and suddenly the account is empty again. And that is the part most people never understand. It is not always about income. A lot of the time, it is about rules. Because if your habits are broken, more money does not fix your life. It just makes your mistakes more expensive. But if your habits are simple, disciplined, and clean, then even an average income can give you peace, stability, and room to breathe. That is what this video is about. Not extreme minimalism, not a miserable life, not never buy anything ever again. This is about minimalist money rules. Simple rules that help you keep money, stop wasting it, and finally feel like you are in control instead of always chasing the next paycheck. And once you see these rules clearly, you will start noticing something strange. A lot of people are not broke because they do not earn enough. They are broke because they never learned how to stop leaking money. So let's fix that. Rule 1. Decide what enough actually means. Most people never do this. They just keep moving. First, they want a better salary, then a better apartment, then a better phone, then better clothes, then a better car, then a better lifestyle, then a better version of everything. And every time they get close, the goalpost moves again. That is why some people never feel satisfied no matter how much they earn. They never define enough. And if you do not define enough, your spending will define it for you. And spending always defines it as slightly more than what you already have. That is how people get trapped in the cycle of always wanting just one more upgrade. So ask yourself a real question. What does enough look like for me? Not fantasy, not social media, not what your neighbor is doing. What does a good, comfortable, real life look like for you? What kind of home is enough? What kind of car is enough? What kind of phone is enough? What kind of clothes are enough? What kind of lifestyle is enough? Write it down. Because once you know what enough looks like, you stop chasing every shiny thing that shows up in your feed. A person without an enough number is easy to control. A person with one is dangerous, because they stop buying nonsense. Rule 2. Every purchase has a second price tag. This one can save you a ridiculous amount of money. Most people only look at the first price, the tag, the checkout amount, the thing they can see right away. But every purchase has a second price tag. The second price is the hidden cost. Storage, maintenance, cleaning, replacement, repair, space, time, mental energy. That nice purchase is not just the price on the receipt. It is also the cost of keeping it alive in your life. That extra chair in your room needs space. That new gadget needs attention. That expensive item you barely use still takes up room in your house and room in your mind. This is why people get surrounded by stuff and still feel poor. Because the stuff keeps costing them in ways they never calculate. Before buying anything, ask one question. What is this really going to cost me after I bring it home? Not just today, not just at checkout, over time. Because the real price of something is not always the number on the label. A cheap-looking thing can be expensive to keep. A useful thing can be worth every dollar. A useless thing can become a quiet money drain for years. Rule 3. Do not shop when emotional. A lot of spending has nothing to do with actual need. It has to do with mood. Sad? Buy something. Tired? Order food. Stressed? Scroll shopping apps. Bored? Add to cart. Feeling low? Treat yourself. This is how money disappears in tiny little pieces. The problem is that emotional spending feels justified in the moment. You are not buying a thing. You are buying a feeling, and feelings are expensive. The trouble is the feeling always fades. The package comes, the food gets eaten, The excitement disappears, and then you are left with the same problem you had before, except now your money is gone too. That is the trap. A lot of people think they are using money to feel better, but what they are really doing is borrowing comfort from the future at a very bad price. So make this a rule. If you are emotional, do not buy. If you are angry, wait. If you are lonely, wait. If you are bored, wait. If you are stressed, wait. Let the feeling pass first, because the decisions you make in weak moments are usually the ones that hurt you later. Rule 4. Use the 24-hour rule for every non-essential purchase. If you want something that is not necessary, wait one full day before buying it. 1 day. That is it. Not 5 minutes, not 1 hour, 1 full day. This one rule is incredibly powerful because most impulse purchases are not real decisions. They are reactions. You see something, you want it. Your brain gives you a little rush. You imagine owning it. You feel excited. Then you buy it. That rush is the problem. Because urgency makes people stupid with money. The 24-hour rule breaks the spell. Most things that feel urgent today will feel unnecessary tomorrow. That shirt you thought was perfect may suddenly look average. That kitchen gadget may no longer seem useful. That random accessory may stop feeling important. That must-have item may not matter at all once the emotional wave is gone. Waiting gives your brain time to cool down. And once the heat is gone, you can think clearly. Ask yourself, do I really need this? Will I still want it tomorrow? What am I giving up to buy it? Most impulse buys die in the waiting period. That is exactly what you want. Rule 5. Make spending harder and saving easier. People spend because spending is easy. 1 click, 1 tap, saved card, fast delivery, no effort, no thought. Saving, on the other hand, feels hard. And that is why so many people fail at money. So change the system. Remove saved payment details. Delete shopping apps. Unsubscribe from sale emails. Keep less money in the account you use for daily spending. Set up automatic transfers to savings on payday. Do not rely on willpower. Willpower is weak when you are tired, stressed, or distracted. Systems are stronger. If spending becomes more annoying, you will do it less. If saving becomes automatic, you will do it more. That is how you stop losing money without needing to become some hyper-disciplined robot. You do not need a perfect personality. You need a better setup. Rule 6. Buy for use, not for image. A lot of people spend money to look like a certain kind of person. They are not buying because they need the thing. They are buying because they want to be seen a certain way. Successful, cool, modern, settled, important, ahead. That is where the real waste begins, because image spending never ends. You buy one thing to improve your look, then another thing to match it, then another thing because now the rest of your life looks too basic, then another thing because your lifestyle should reflect your growth, and suddenly you are spending money to maintain a performance. Here is the truth. Most people are not studying your life as closely as you think. And the people you are trying to impress are usually busy trying to impress someone else. So stop paying for fake status. Buy things because you will use them. Buy things because they solve a problem. Buy things because they improve real life. Not because they look good for 10 seconds on a screen. Rule 7. Keep your financial life simple. Complexity is expensive. The more accounts, cards, subscriptions, apps, loans, and random systems you have, the harder it becomes to understand your money. And when money becomes confusing, people stop paying attention. That is when waste starts to grow. So simplify it. 1 spending account, 1 savings account, 1 emergency fund, 1 clear set of goals, 1 simple system you actually understand. You do not need 10 financial tools to manage a normal life. You need a system you can follow without needing a spreadsheet that looks like an air traffic control tower. The simpler your financial life is, the easier it becomes to spot problems early. And when you can spot them early, you can fix them early. A lot of people think complicated money management makes them look sophisticated. It does not. Clarity is more powerful than complexity. Always. Rule 8. Stop upgrading things that still work. This one destroys wealth in slow motion. The phone still works, but you want the new one. The car still works, but the newer one looks better. The clothes still work, but you are bored of them. The furniture still works, but now you want a different vibe. That is how people spend money without improving their life. Boredom is not a reason to upgrade. New is not always better, and better is not always necessary. A lot of people throw money away because they confuse restlessness with a real need. But restlessness is not a financial emergency. If something works, use it longer. That simple habit can save you a shocking amount of money over your lifetime. The people who build wealth are often not the people who replace things the fastest. They are the people who leave good enough alone. Rule 9. Keep fixed expenses low. This rule matters more than most people realize. Fixed expenses are dangerous because they follow you every month. Higher rent, bigger EMI, phone plan, car payment, premium subscriptions, a lifestyle that needs constant fuel. Once your fixed costs get too high, your freedom starts shrinking. Even if your income rises, your pressure may not go down, because your obligations rise too. That is the trap. A person with low fixed expenses can survive a bad month. A person with high fixed expenses is always one problem away from panic. So keep the permanent parts of your life simple. Do not build a monthly life so expensive that every small issue turns into a crisis. Low fixed costs create breathing room, and breathing room is what people call peace when they finally get it. Rule 10. Own less, manage less. Every item you own asks something from you. It asks for space, it asks for cleaning, it asks for attention, it asks for money, it asks for maintenance. That is why too much stuff can quietly wear you down. A cluttered room can make your mind feel cluttered. Too many clothes can make getting dressed annoying. Too many things in storage can make life feel heavier than it should. Minimalism is not about living with nothing. It is about keeping only what supports your life. The fewer things you own, the easier life becomes to manage. You clean faster. You decide faster. You spend less. You think more clearly. Owning less does not make life poor. Often, it makes life easier to carry. Rule 11. Separate needs from habits. A lot of spending feels necessary only because it became normal. That coffee every morning, that food delivery every weekend, that random snack run, that online order just because you were scrolling, that little treat because you deserve it. These things are not always bad, but they can become expensive when they are automatic. That is the key problem. Habit spending is silent. It does not feel dramatic. It does not feel dangerous. It just repeats. And repeated spending becomes expensive very fast. So ask yourself regularly, is this a need? Or is this just a habit I never questioned? That question can expose a lot of waste. Not everything comfortable is necessary. Not everything normal is wise. Rule 12. Have one no-spending day every week. Pick one day each week where you spend nothing unless it is truly essential. No random shopping. No browsing delivery apps. No unnecessary purchases. No just looking. No little extras. A no-spending day does two important things. First, it saves money. Second, it interrupts the automatic habit of spending by default. Most people spend without noticing. A no-spending day brings awareness back into the room. And once awareness comes back, waste starts going down. It is a small habit, but over time it can change the way you relate to money. Rule 13. Respect the power of cash. Card payments and app payments make money feel less real. That is dangerous. Because when money is invisible, spending feels lighter. You do not feel the same friction you feel when cash leaves your hand. That is why many people overspend more when everything is digital. Cash makes the cost real. You see it leave. You feel it leave. You think twice. That does not mean cash is always better, but it does mean you should understand how spending psychology works. If you struggle with overspending, using cash for certain categories can help a lot. Groceries, eating out, personal spending. When the cash is gone, the spending stops. Simple, clear, effective. Rule 14. Stop using spending as therapy. This is a deeper version of emotional spending. Some people are not just shopping when they feel bad. They are using money to numb themselves. Bad day? Spend. Stressful week? Spend. Feeling behind in life? Spend. Feeling ordinary? Spend. Feeling like everybody else is moving ahead? Spend. That is how money becomes a coping tool. But money is not therapy. Buying things will not solve loneliness. It will not solve insecurity. It will not solve burnout. It will not solve self-doubt. It may distract you for a moment, but it will not heal the real issue. The better move is to notice the feeling before it turns into a purchase. That is where control begins. Not in pretending you never feel anything. In catching the feeling before it starts costing you money. Rule 15. Build a money buffer before you build a lifestyle. A lot of people do this backwards. They build the lifestyle first. Then they hope the money catches up. That is why they stay stuck. The smarter path is the opposite. First, build a buffer. First, build savings. First, create breathing room. Then, slowly expand your life. Because a buffer gives you peace. A buffer gives you time. A buffer gives you choices. A buffer protects you from small problems becoming big disasters. Even a small emergency fund can change how you feel about life. You stop panicking over every surprise. You stop feeling like one bill can wreck your month. You stop treating normal life problems like emergencies. That feeling is worth more than many of the purchases people make to feel secure. Rule 16. Make wealth boring. A lot of people want money to feel exciting. That is the wrong goal. Wealth should feel boring. Boring means stable. Boring means calm. Boring means predictable. Boring means you are not panicking all the time. The best money systems are not flashy. They are repeatable. Automatic savings, simple spending, low debt, low clutter, low stress, low drama. That is how ordinary people build strong financial lives. Not with miracle moves, not with perfect timing, not with luck. With boring discipline repeated over time. And boring is beautiful when it means your life is stable. Rule 17. Do not confuse desire with urgency. This is a huge money trap. A lot of people spend because they think wanting something means they need it now. But wanting is not the same as needing. And desire is not the same as urgency. Just because you want it today does not mean it needs to be bought today. Sometimes the smartest thing you can do is wait. Waiting gives you clarity. Waiting gives you options. Waiting gives your money time to stay where it belongs, in your account. A person who can tolerate delay has a huge financial advantage. They are not ruled by every impulse. They are not buying the first thing that makes them feel something. They are not letting urgency run their life. That patience is one of the quietest forms of wealth. Rule 18. Cut the expensive noise. Modern life is noisy. Too many ads, too many trends, too many opinions, too many must-have products, too many people telling you what your life should look like. And all of it creates pressure. Pressure to spend, pressure to compare, pressure to upgrade, pressure to keep up. The more noise you let in, the harder it becomes to hear your own priorities. So cut the noise. Unfollow accounts that make you spend. Mute pages that trigger comparison. Ignore trends that do nothing for your real life. Stop letting marketing decide what you should want. The less noise you consume, the easier it becomes to make clear decisions, and clear decisions protect your money. Rule 19. Learn to enjoy simple life. A person who only enjoys expensive things will always feel poor. Why? Because expensive things cannot be the foundation of happiness. A simple meal, a quiet room, a clean home, a walk outside, a free evening, a good conversation, a calm mind. These things do not cost much, but they can make life feel full. The problem is that many people forget how to enjoy simple life, so they keep chasing expensive comfort, and that becomes exhausting. The less you need to feel okay, the easier it becomes to stay financially stable. A simple life is not a lesser life. It is often a freer one. Rule 20. Review your life regularly. Minimalism is not a one-time event. It is a practice. Because life gets messy slowly. Expenses creep up, habits creep up, subscriptions creep up, clutter creeps up, commitments creep up. So every few months, step back and ask, what is working? What is wasting money? What is cluttering my life? What needs to go? This kind of review keeps you honest. It stops you from drifting. It keeps your life sharp. It reminds you that you are in charge. Most people never review anything. They just keep living, keep spending, keep adjusting, and keep wondering why money never feels enough. Do not live like that. Review your life regularly and cut what no longer serves you. Final part. Here is the truth most people do not want to hear. You do not need a perfect income to be financially stable. You need better rules, simple rules, clear rules, repeatable rules. The person who always has money is usually not the person who earns the most. It is the person who wastes the least, plans ahead, and keeps life simple enough to control. That is what minimalist money really is. Not suffering, not deprivation, not fear. Clarity. And once you have clarity, money stops feeling like something that controls you. It starts becoming something you control. So start with one rule. Just one. Pick the one that hit you hardest. Maybe it is the 24-hour rule. Maybe it is lowering fixed expenses. Maybe it is cutting emotional spending. Maybe it is building a buffer. Maybe it is making spending harder. Start there. Do it for 1 week, then 1 month, then keep going. Because small money rules, followed consistently, can change your entire life. And that is how you always have money.